My name is Mike, and I was a bouncer in the biggest nightclub in New York City for several years. I was actually our head of narcotics, and I worked both, as a uniformed officer, as a uniformed security officer, and undercover in our club. So I'm wanting to share with you guys some stories. Today I'm going to talk about the guy who wrestled one of our bouncers in the men's room. So let's talk about the club. The club is huge, okay? 5 floors, God, I don't know, 7, 8 bathrooms. We had 2,000 to 8,000 people a night in there, depending how big the club is, and we had anywhere from 10 to 50 security guards working. 50, we had maybe only 25 like in-house security, but we had maybe. We'd bring in outside contractors if we needed. If we had like a big night, if we had, a huge act like Tiesto or, I don't know, Rihanna or some big superstar was coming to our club, which rarely happened, right? Those kinds of superstars, they tend to sell out stadiums or something like that. But sometimes they would come in because they wanted to show up support for a smaller artist or something like that, French Montana or whatever, before like those artists blew up. So, anyways, so in this club, we always had all kinds of problems, with drugs, especially with drugs, assaults, people fighting each other, guys, inappropriately touching women, that kind of stuff. It's a small city unto itself. But we had a situation where in one of the bathrooms, one of our guards caught a guy with a bag of coke in one of the toilet stalls. Not a big deal, happens all the time. If we catch anybody doing any kind of drugs, we, tend to throw the drugs out, we throw the person out. We don't want them, in our club doing drugs. If we become, we get a reputation for having a drug den, the city could pull permits, the NYPD could be in there raiding all the time and causing all kinds of issues legally for the owners, and it just wasn't worth it for them. So, and pretty much the things, we know people are doing drugs, but if you're careless enough or drunk enough or high enough to get caught by one of us, then, you're gonna get caught by, the police or somebody else that's gonna, it's gonna be an issue. If you're careless enough to get caught, you actually might, you're at risk of possibly overdosing or something like that. The last thing we need to do is have to deal with overdoses and deaths. We've had that happen before. We've had people overdose and die in our club. I actually saw it happen right in front of me several times. Not several, I should say twice. So this guy was in a bathroom. Our bouncer saw him, doing some coke. He busts in the door and the guy fucking throws it in the toilet really quick, flushes it. And the bouncer's pissed, because he wants to catch this dude and turn him over to the police or something like that. But he flushes it and the guy starts giving the bouncer attitude. I got nothing, because I fucking saw you. And the guy, fuck you, you don't know what you're talking about. And the bouncer says, oh yeah? He grabs the guy to throw him out of the club, and the guy starts fighting back. Now, there were a couple other security guards in there, and normally we'd all just yoke him up and throw him out, and the guy starts, and and that's what happens, right? The guards all grab the guy, and we're threatening to drag him out, beat him up or whatever. And the guy says, no. He says, let me fight this guy. And our bouncer, his name is Tom. Tom says, oh yeah, he wants to fight me? He says, okay, yeah, let's fight. Go ahead, I'll fight you, motherfucker. And so we clear everybody out of the bathroom, all the civilians, people with their fucking cell phones and shit. Everybody get the fuck out of here. Push him out of the bathroom. And this is a big bathroom, okay? Like, it's got, 15 stalls and 15 urinals, 3 or 4 stalls in there, toilet stalls. This thing's big, right? Think about bathrooms in stadiums, like they're pretty big. This one had, it's a 30 by 20 foot rectangular room, so it's pretty damn big. And so we push out all the civilians, and it's just us and the guards in there. It's just the guards in there and this guy. And so the guards, we all stand off to the side, and we let Tom and this random dude go at it. So they square off. Tom puts his hands up, and the guy, same thing, puts his hands up, and then the guy charges Tom. and you could tell he's a wrestler, high school wrestler. And the guy's about college age, right? So he's a wrestler, and he goes and he fucking picks up Tom, slams him to the ground. But Tom he's a fucking monster. I mean, big dude, 250 pounds, solid, like, super jacked, powerful dude. Tom gets right up on top of this dude and just starts wailing on him. But the dude is fighting back. I mean, he's a tough cookie too. You could tell he knows how to fight. And they're both going ahead of, trading blows. But this guy, he's using more of like the wrestling kind of moves, trying to get Tom in a headlock and shit like that. And Tom is just fucking throwing elbows and just wailing on him. And just, even though the guy had more technique, and the guy too was muscular and everything, he had a lot of technique, but Tom has pure power and rage. I mean, this is a guy, me and Tom, we put a lot of work in together. I'll tell you guys those stories later, but Tom is a fucking monster. Definitely not, I don't know where he gets the adrenaline from, right? But he's got some kind of a fucking turbo, some kind of a nitrous oxide boost in his body. And I mean, he eventually beats the guy down, whops him a bunch of times in the face. I mean, really, the guy gets all bloody and everything. And the guy's fighting back, like he's not giving up. He's definitely putting in, trying his best. But eventually, we just said, okay, you guys are done, because they both weren't stopping, and Tom was beginning to fuck this guy up really bad. And the guy wasn't stopping either, but I mean, he was starting to get really bloody. And and we didn't want to turn into where somebody's going to the hospital or something. And so we said, okay, you guys are good, cool. And the guy's still trying to fight, and we pull Tom away, and the guy's still trying to go at him. We fucking hold the guy. He's like, dude, fucking stop. We hit him a couple of times, fucking hold his arms, and he's still and now mind you, he's also on drugs, right? So whatever the fuck he was doing, Tom said it was probably a baggie of coke. Maybe it was coke, maybe it was meth, maybe it was some kind of a mixture of both. But the guy's still being super aggressive. So we just grab his arms up, drag him over to the sink, splash some water on his face, paper towel, fucking wipe him off, so he stops bleeding, hold some stuff up against him because he's bleeding out the side here. His skin got split open, so we're just holding a paper towel up on him until he stops bleeding. He's fucking struggling the whole time. Leave me the fuck alone, I'm gonna kill him. He said, yeah, okay, buddy, whatever, you're fucking good, and carry him up the stairs, because the bathroom was downstairs. Carry him up the stairs, take him out the front door, kick the doors open, boom, drag this guy outside, and fucking throw him in the street. And that was it. That was